It's often said that there are more men than women, but at matchmaking events, women always outnumber men, with ratios as high as 9-1. Why is this really the case? Nowadays, urban parks, workplace socials, and matchmaking agencies are all organizing various dating events. Yet, no matter where you go, you'll find that women always outnumber men. Some events even set age restrictions for women, but even so, men remain scarce. Is it really because there are too few men? The truth is, the reasons behind this are far more complex. On one hand, in modern society, women are becoming increasingly independent and have higher expectations for marriage, while men face greater societal pressures and often prioritize career and stability. On the other hand, information asymmetry in the matchmaking market also contributes to this phenomenon. Many men may participate less due to busy work schedules or a reluctance toward matchmaking, while women, influenced by family and societal expectations, are more proactive in seeking partners. The gender imbalance in the matchmaking market is actually a complex social issue. We look forward to the day when true gender equality takes root, and only then can this problem be genuinely resolved.
My current situation: I was born in 1989 and am now 36 years old. I'll turn 37 next month. I've never been married, never had children, and don't even have a partner. In the eyes of many, I'm an unwanted leftover woman well past her prime. Nowadays, no one even tries to set me up on dates anymore. As I grow older, the friends around me will only become fewer, life will grow lonelier, and my days will feel increasingly dull. I've lost my sense of hope and direction. While my parents are still here, at least I have a family to call my own. But once they're gone, I won't even have a home anymore, no emotional anchor to hold on to. When I'm sick, minor illnesses can be treated with a quick trip to the pharmacy. But if it's something serious, I'd have to drag my weakened body to the hospital alone, stand in line to register, and see a doctor. And if I ever needed surgery, there wouldn't even be anyone to sign the consent forms for me. More and more, I worry that I'll end up completely alone in the end. Don't say that older single women are at fault. Older single women and gold diggers are two completely different things, no problem there. Older single women are older single women because certain things in their lives delayed them, leading to their current marital situation. But gold diggers are out to scam, using relationships and marriage as a means to cheat men out of their money. Of course, I also acknowledge that many men have been deceived by some women, to the point where they develop a fear of marriage. So, I hope everyone can avoid creating conflict between men and women. Instead, let's uphold justice and promote positivity on our platforms, okay? Everything I've said today, please don't maliciously edit it. We are all about positive energy and a positive society here, okay? So, I think, for me personally, of course, I also hope all you young ladies, after you've achieved success in your studies, don't become too picky, don't aim unrealistically high, and don't try to have it all. In the end, you'll only be delaying yourselves. So, if you meet someone who's a good match and things feel right, you should consider settling down earlier. I believe our lives are meant to be enjoyed, not to harm ourselves. So, I think you should live in the present and not let age define your youth. A 38-year-old woman still has her own youth and her own life. I may not be married now, but I feel like I'm living very well. Of course, I hope that one day if I meet my Prince Charming, I'll also have a happy marriage. Naturally, this is also my parents' greatest wish for me, even though they can't sleep well at night worrying about it. If I ever get married, I'll come to Wansong Academy, holding my marriage certificate, and give a shout out to every single one of you filming me right now. I'll send you all good vibes, and I hope you all have a wonderful life, okay? So, don't let me get too emotional, everyone.
Challenge for this year: get married. I was born in 95. This year I turned 30, unmarried, childless, an older leftover woman who isn't particularly high quality. No car, no house, no job, no degree, no savings. Over 4 months of the year have already passed. Do you think I still have a chance to successfully challenge myself and get married this year?
宝们，我以前一直觉得能
Babes, I used to think finding someone you actually want to kiss was a basic requirement, but now I realize it's actually a high standard. Seriously, have you noticed? Other things can be compromised on, but kissing? No way. So now, whether you're dating or getting married, the hardest part is finding someone you genuinely want to kiss. Do you really think you can kiss just anyone? Do you think you can force yourself to kiss anyone? How many sisters have met someone who treats them well, is generous, and has great qualities, but the one thing missing is that they just can't bring themselves to kiss them. You might think you can tough it out, wrestle with your feelings for a long time, but in the end you just can't do it. So many sisters have given up in situations like this. That's why I think finding someone you actually want to kiss is the hardest part nowadays. I'm one of those who is brainwashed into believing that women must be independent and rely on themselves. And what did I get after relying on myself until 35? No stable job, can't afford a house or a car, still unmarried, left alone with nothing accomplished. I fell for that brainwashing nonsense. You have to depend on yourself. How many women can actually succeed by relying on themselves? Unless you come from a wealthy family, you need that backing. Even a modest family fortune would help, but I'm from a rural area. My parents have nothing, just 2 goats. Can I raise them? We don't even have much farmland, and I don't know how to farm. So now I see through all that brainwashing, independence, self-reliance. It got me nothing, and now I'm older. How can I compete with younger girls? Back then you could find a job easily, but now at 35, where am I supposed to work? I'm going crazy. This is the path I chose for myself. So for an ordinary woman with no family wealth and no exceptional skills, getting married early is really the way to go. Who cares who you rely on? As long as you live well, that's what matters. Relying on yourself just wears you out, and in the end you gain nothing. You end up alone with no income, pretty miserable. And society won't care about you because it was your choice. You didn't contribute to society, didn't have kids, didn't help the country's aging population, right? You're just a burden to the country. What use are you then? Useless. Now I'm full of regret. Why didn't I marry earlier? I'm just average, no special talents. People who seem to have it all complain about how tiring kids are, but look at their lives, good food, nice trips, buying whatever they want. How many are like me? So miserable, so miserable. How could something so shocking happen? At an all-female matchmaking event in Wuhan, 800 women showed up, only to be completely stunned. The ladies paid an entry fee of 3,800 yuan each, dressed to the nines, while men were supposed to attend for free. But in the end, not a single man showed up. They had hoped to spend 3,800 yuan to land a man earning 3.8 million a year, but instead they didn't even see a single small fish. This can't help but remind people of another all-female matchmaking event held in Hangzhou last year, where hundreds of women showed up as well. The difference was that time, men had to pay 800 yuan, while women attended for free. Many people are confused. If men have to pay, they won't come, which makes sense. But now, even when women are the ones paying, the men still don't show up. This is really hard to understand. Many single women in China are now embracing independence, prioritizing careers, and rejecting marital expectations. However, some also realize that Chinese men are not interested in them anymore. The term leftover women has long been used in China to describe unmarried women over the age of 27, often implying they are undesirable. 42 years old, life is already halfway over, unmarried, childless, having achieved nothing, and burdened with debt. I'm 38 and unmarried. Today it suddenly hit me that among all my middle school classmates, college friends, graduate school peers, and co-workers from over the years, I'm the only one who's still single. I used to think I needed to focus on my career, make money, and buy my own house and car. But then I noticed that all my married classmates drive much nicer cars than mine, and they didn't even have to pay for them themselves. I worked so hard, sacrificing my youth, just to buy a car worth around 200,000 renminbi, and I still had to take out a loan. What exactly do I have to be proud of? Even those who got divorced ended up with kids, properties, cars, and assets, plus an ex-husband paying alimony and some young guy constantly doting on them. What have I been chasing all these years? I feel like my life is just one big joke. At 33, I've come to realize that many attractive women in their 20s were already open to dating men around 35 when they were in college. Now that I'm almost 35 myself, accepting a man in his 50s would be like becoming an instant mother without the pain of childbirth. Sounds perfectly reasonable. Heck, those well-off older men might not even find me worthy, humph.
普通男生啊，不要
Guys, stop chasing older single women. The more glamorous she dresses and the higher her standard of living, the harder she is to pursue. Especially for average guys who are looking to get married, you simply can't meet the demands of older single women. As the old saying goes, it's easy to go from frugality to luxury, but hard to go from luxury back to frugality. If you want an older single woman to be interested in you, you'll have to meet all her expectations for a high-quality lifestyle. Otherwise, she'll feel like you're lowering her standard of living. Most of these women come from ordinary rural backgrounds, but once they've broadened their horizons, they can no longer settle for average men. So let me be honest, if you're an average guy, run the moment you meet a woman like this. Don't assume that just because she's in her 30s, she's desperate to marry. If you can't provide the upscale life she wants, she'd rather stay single. In China, many single women express a desire for male attention, flirtation, and the excitement of being desired, despite rejecting the traditional paths of marriage and long-term relationships. Social media has made this duality even more visible. Single women curate their lives online, projecting confidence and beauty while also revealing moments of vulnerability. Posts may range from glamorous selfies and luxury hauls to lonely reflections about dating fatigue, ghosting, or feeling left behind as peers settle down. Women express both freedom and loneliness that come with their independence. The term leftover woman was popularized in the late 2000s to describe women over the age of 27 who are unmarried. Listen up, ladies over 25, the dating market is brutal. These 4 hard-earned lessons could save you. If you don't want to be treated like leftover options in the dating scene, this video is your survival guide, especially tip number 4, which could save you 5 years of wasted time. First, an average guy with a stable job is already a solid catch. Second, if he owns a home and a car with no debt, that's top tier. Third, let's be real, the average height of men in China is under 170 centimeters. And finally, the most crucial point, if you meet someone genuinely sincere, reliable, mature, and good to you, that's a rare stroke of luck. Don't you agree? In recent years, China's matchmaking parks have become a striking social phenomenon, reflecting the growing challenges young people face in finding romantic partners. These parks, often bustling with parents holding signs listing their children's qualifications, highlight a peculiar contradiction. Despite countless proposals from single women, many still struggle to secure a match. Ladies, if you want to get married, do it early. Don't think about being some kind of independent woman. I was born in 1993, I'm 33 now, still unmarried and single. From university to grad school to work, I always believed I had to rely on myself, not anyone else. But what was the result? After years of hard work, I was finally able to buy an apartment back in my hometown. But in the process, I missed my best window for marriage and childbirth. Now, my biological value has been delayed. Instead of increasing in value, I've depreciated. Honestly, this whole independent woman concept just doesn't hold up. It's a scam. One of the most visible aspects of matchmaking parks is the active role parents play in their children's love lives. In these public spaces, mothers and fathers gather with handwritten advertisements detailing their offspring's height, education, income, and property ownership. While both men and women are advertised, the sheer number of single women's profiles suggests a growing imbalance. Many of these women are highly educated, financially independent, and professionally accomplished, yet they find it difficult to meet suitable partners. Many families, and even the women themselves, prioritize a man's economic status when seeking a partner. Men are expected to own property and earn high salaries, while women are often judged by their youth and appearance. This creates a narrow pool of eligible bachelors, leaving many successful women without compatible matches. Meanwhile, men who do not meet these rigid standards also face difficulties, as they are overlooked in favor of wealthier counterparts. Economic pressures further complicate the situation. In China's competitive urban centers, the high cost of living, particularly housing, makes marriage an increasingly financialized decision. Many families view marriage as an economic alliance rather than a romantic partnership, placing immense pressure on young people to meet material expectations before committing. For women, this often means waiting for a man who can provide financial security, while men feel overwhelmed by the demands placed upon them. The emphasis on economic stability over emotional compatibility leaves little room for genuine connection, making it harder for relationships to form naturally. The rise of matchmaking parks also reflects a broader anxiety about China's declining marriage and birth rates, as the government promotes traditional family values to counter these trends.